Hello everyone and welcome back to a new very exciting video here on my channel. For today's video I'm going to show you my whole bookshelves. I have 3 IKEA bookshelves, 2 that is 80 centimeters wide and I don't remember the height, but then I also have a smaller one in the middle that's like half of the bigger ones. So I have 3 bookshelves. Yeah, I'm just gonna show you, okay? So here we are at the very left of my bookshelves, and here is my Sarah J Maas shelf, or what I also call it, high fantasy shelf. But I plan on, when Sarah J Maas, when she publishes more and more books, I plan on having them all on one shelf. That's really what I was trying to do here. So to the very left, I feel like I'm showcasing something very important here. But to the very left I have Dance of Thieves and Vow of Thieves because it just fit into the aesthetics. And then I have the first 3 books in the Ember in the Ashes series, and then I have A Court of Thorns and Roses 1, 2 and 3, and then the novella, and then I have mismatched Throne and Glass books. As you can see here, these are the Swedish editions and here are the English editions. As you can see here, I was trying to really plan my bookshelves based on heights. So the first 5 books here are the same height, and that's really what I want to do with the books, like hardback covers. You would think that they are the same height, but Swedish publishers and UK or US publishers, they don't follow the same guidelines. Did that, Throne and Glass, and then we can go right to this shelf right here. So I have the first 3 Shadow and Bone books. There are only 3 Shadow and Bone books. Then I have Cersei, then I have Graceling, Fire, Bitter Blue by Christine Cashore. 3 of my favorite YA fantasy books ever. If you've not heard me talk about them already, I definitely recommend you to check out some other videos on my channel because I talk about them a lot. Then I also have another trilogy here, which is the Red Rising, the first trilogy. So a little bit of trilogy vibes, except for Cersei, but I didn't know where to put that. So like you can see, colors and authors, they're mismatched. Like the only thing with authors are like with Sarah J Maas. She has a whole shelf. I have another one of her books on another shelf. But like you can see here, the King of Scars and Rule of Wolves doesn't sit or go with the Shadow and Bone books that I have. So a little bit of a mismatch for you there. But I just think that it's really like aesthetically pleasing with having the same height with books. So I'm really trying to do that. And then I just have, as you can see here, a very dirty mirror thing that you can put things in. And then I of course have a plant here because I love plants. So that's it for those shelves. But then we can go here. One thing that I just want to point out, that I know that these shelves are not the same height, but that is because I really wanted to have my Monstera plant. Is it called that in English? I don't know. Monstera. This is my beauty. Look at her leaves. You can't really see her biggest leaves on the camera. I really wanted to place this plant in my shelf, so that's why it looks like this. I have like the Nevernight, the first 2 in the Nevernight trilogy, because I have the 3rd one in a special edition, so I wanted to have that like kind of showed off. So you will see that in a sec. Skyward and Starsight, I don't know if you can see it. And then if I just move this plant a little bit, as you can see here, kind of the same height. You don't really see much of these books anyway because the leaves of this plant is in the way. I have Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating by Christina Lauren, Milk and Honey, which is a poetry book. I have not read that yet. And Rebel of the Sands, Children of Blood and Bone. Like I have Wilder Girls and The Hating Game here as well. So a little bit of a mixed bag. And then over at the top, I know I have skipped these 2 shelves, but I'll go over them in a sec. Over at the top, I just have like books that I don't really want to show off. This top shelf here, I'm not expecting the eye to go there. The first thing you see, I'm not expecting the eye to go there. So I kind of put books over there that is not my favorite, that is books that I don't really want to show off, etc. Because I have those books kind of at eye level or below, because when I go into my room I don't look up, I look down, because everything else is lower than me. My bed, my desk, everything on the lower side of my bookshelves. Do you get what I mean? So I really thought about that. Anyway, so I'm gonna put this bad boy back. As you can see, it's really freaking big. I did cut it down, but it has grown like 3 more leaves since then. So I'm gonna go to this shelf right here. So I needed a space where I could put my perfumes, because when I had this desk, I don't know if you have followed me that long, I had a desk right here under this. It was like a V shape and it was really big, and it had kind of shelves built onto the desk, and on those shelves I had like a display for my pictures and my plants and also my perfumes. But since I got rid of that, I needed a new place for my perfumes, and I just think that it actually is kind of beautiful to have my perfumes displayed. And it is a bit of a mess because I have a Zara home like picture frame doesn't have a picture in it, but I really liked it, so I wound it up. And I also have like my jewelry stand, and I have a box that used to contain a candle. I have that displayed because I liked how it looked. So it's a bit of a mess currently, and it doesn't really fit into my whole other aesthetics with my shelves because I have kind of dark shelves. But anyway, then I have my continuation of my high fantasy shelf, but not so Mass. I think I need to say that Leigh Bardugo is the queen of this shelf because I have Six of Crows here, I have Crooked Kingdom here, King of Scars and Rule of Wolves, just because they are all so freaking beautiful, so I wanted to have them displayed, and King of Scars is the king of this shelf. Literally. I also have Roundbreaker by Victoria Aveyard, and then I also have Enchantment of Ravens by Margaret Rogerson. So that was my two top shelves. A little bit of storage, a little bit of decoration. I wanted to have places for my plants because I love them so much, and at the same time kind of high fantasy books that I want to hide and books that I want to show off, so a little bit of a mix there. And then we can see the rest of my shelves, which I'm really excited to because I have a couple of more things to show off. So you know what I said about having display shelves that would show off my pictures and my books, and here are the display shelves that I was talking about. So when I go into my room, this is where my eyes land, and I hope this is where other people's eyes land. So here are the shelves, a display shelf right here because I absolutely love Strange the Dreamer without the dust jackets. I just needed to display this beauty here, so I wanted a space for that, as well as that I wanted a space for this beautiful art of a human skull. I know it's a little bit grotesque maybe, and I think you have seen that I have a similar art piece with a human heart on it with like all the scientific names of everything, the same with this one. And I also have a normal glass with dried flowers in them. I know I'm a little bit weird, but I like the look of them. So I have the cruel prints here as well. But then over on this shelf, you can really see here that I really tried to make it the same height, because over here everything looks fine, it's really aesthetically pleasing. But then we come to the books that are really tricky. So I kind of wanted to push them off to the side. I really wanted to like hide them. So I have the Illuminae files, which I loved, and they are that height, as you can see here. And then Supernova is like a height that I don't even own in any other book. So Arch Enemies and Renegades are not the same height as the sequel and the third book in the story. And then I have The Honeymooners and Mary Lou Wildcard, as you can see there. I really tried, but if I get more large paperbacks, I will be able to fill out this shelf and only have that displayed. This is my two display shelves. They are really simple. I really just wanted to show off some books and show off series that I love. In this case series, in this case books. So over here I have Odin's Child and Rot, and I don't know what the third one is going to be called in English, but the first one is called Odin's Child. It's by C.D. Petitian. If you follow me for a long time, I know you have heard about this book and this series, but this is the first one in the Raven Ring series by a Norwegian author, and I absolutely love this fantasy. It's a YA high fantasy, and yeah, I just wanted to display it here. And then here I really absolutely adore the House of Earth and Blood Crescent City, that cover. I absolutely adore that, so I really want to show it off. I really feel like as soon as you go into the room, your eyes go directly to this shelf and that cover, and that's how I wanted it. And then I have Truth Witch and Wind Witch by Susan Dennard. I have a little glass fish that's all actually broken, really sad. I wanted to show off this book because here is Dark Dawn, I was talked about before. Right there is Nevernight and God's Grave by J. Kristoff, the first two books in the Nevernight trilogy, and this is the last one. And it's Dark Dawn, and why I wanted to have this displayed is because it is a special copy, it is signed by the author, and it's really special because the edges are painted black with white stars on them. So I wanted to have the edges displayed, and I thought that this was kind of the perfect space to put that. So that's my thoughts on that, and let's go to the other side of my shelves. So here's another display shelf. I'm kind of doing a lot of these shelves because I don't have that many books to fill out my shelves with, and this is the art print that I talked about that was really similar to the skull art print. It's from the same company. It's a Swedish company. It's called Desenio.se. I don't know if they ship internationally. I think they do, but I can be really wrong. Since I got the From Blood and Ash book box by Illuminate, I really wanted to display all of the things in that box on this shelf, so I have the mug from that box and I filled it with all the bookmarks that I use and thought would fit the vibe, I guess. And I also have the book, of course, on display because I absolutely love the look of that book. And then of course this more simple shelf with Rebecca and a lot of other books that is not the same height, clearly, as you can see here. And then I also have my 2 Chilton edition on display, so Sense and Sensibility and the picture of Dorian Gray. And I also have this plastic skull that has dried flowers in it. I'm weird, don't comment on it. So now here we are at the bottom of my shelf. I'm currently sitting on the floor and I just wanted to show off this because this is also kind of a shelf that I'm really proud of and that I really like. So on this shelf I have Warcross, and then I also have Cress by Marissa Meyer. This is the 3rd book in the Lunar Chronicles. The first 2 books I have behind me there, and the Winter, which was the 4th one, I have up on my shelves over there. Once again, an example of how I tend to separate my books if they're not the same height. And you can also see here that I kind of have a color theme with the blues in House of Salt and Sorrow and Red Queen, Glass Sword and King's Cage. So they're all white or blue, and the same with these ones. Lilac, blue, black, black and gold over there. And yes, this is the thing that turns my lights on and off. Really enjoy this shelf. I have The Heart of the Elements. That's my own English translation of this Swedish work by a friend of mine. Then I also have Spin the Dawn, Unravel the Dusk over here. The Iron Wolf or Järnulven by C.D. Pettersen. Another book that I wanted to show off, I guess. House of Salt and Sorrow I absolutely adore the cover of. So that was those 2 shelves. Now I'm just gonna quickly go over this. And I have the Hunger Games trilogy, The Book Thief, Everything Everything, and then I have Cinder and Scarlet by Marissa Meyer, the first 2 books in the Lunar Chronicles I have displayed over here. And then I also have a book that's actually my mom's, which is Jojo Moyes' Me Before You. Adored this book, cried a lot, adored this movie, cried a lot, we don't need to talk about it. And then I also have Fangirl on this, and then I just have this metal jar that I used to put my pens and my drawing and painting stuff in, but now it's a place for my bookmarks. So I have, like, most of my bookmarks is over here, but then I also have some in that mug that I showed you earlier, the From Blood and Ash mug, bookmarks that I have made. If you want to watch me make all of these bookmarks, I have a bookmark origami YouTube video here on my channel, so I can link that in this corner, no this, and in the description. And then we go to the shelves that I don't really want to show. As you can see, I don't give a fuck about these shelves, and they're really all over the place, but this is essentially my shelves that displays the books that I want to get rid of. So over here, if you have not watched my 2020 unhaul video, you have not seen these books recently, but I have Julie Kagawa on this shelf. I have Stalking Jack the Ripper, the first 3 books in the Shadow Me series. It's not because I didn't like them, but I don't like the covers, so yeah, I don't like the cover, so I'm hopefully going to get rid of them soon. Then I have 4 of the Shadowhunter books because I don't like Shadowhunter's books at all. I don't like Isana Claire. I don't like her writing. Then I have the first 2 books in Mistborn series. I'm kind of debating on rereading them, but I think I'm going to reread them in English this time. The first book in the Laini Taylor series that I can't remember the name of. Yeah, so it's just a couple of books here that I want to get rid of. So that was everything. That was my whole shelves except for 2 shelves that you didn't get to see because I have other things displayed there. Things for school and things for like art things. So it doesn't really have to do with books. This was my bookshelf tour for you guys this year. I feel like I'm going to change it up a bit every now and then because I do get more books and I do want to display them differently. If you want to know anything specific about my shelves, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below and I will answer them to the best of my abilities. Leave a like, a comment, and don't forget to subscribe because I post a new video every week, every Thursday, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!